All right, let's abruptly segue straight into it. Is 1986. You are just a normal guy. You're making out with your girlfriend in a dark alley, as we did in 1986. When next thing you know, you are fighting off a duck from outer space with a for rent sign.
Right.
Of course, we are referring to Howard the Duck. How did you end up getting the role in Howard the Duck?
You know, I wish I could answer that truthfully, but I have no idea.
That's
Not a clue. I don't remember auditioning. The only thing I remember, it was a night shoot, and I got to make out with a very pretty girl.
Yeah,
she's a very pretty girl. All right, so let me ask you this. Now we've heard literally it was a wild production. So, what was your experience like, other than the making out, that you can remember on set? Any experience whatsoever?
All I remember is shooting my scene, basically, and being very anxious because it was my first speaking role. It was my first role, you know what I mean? And I was lucky enough to get a speaking part, but it didn't translate into getting a SAG card or anything. I went Taft-Hartley on that, and then a sudden impact.
Now, switching it up here, what was it like working with William Hyatt? What was that like to really work? I knew I was going to do that. I knew. Then why'd you put his name there? That's his name. What was it like working with Willard Hyatt?
It was enjoyable. He just basically, showed me what he wanted. I gave it to him, and he gave me some high praise, and that was the end of that. I mean, it was real quick. It was an experience that was fulfilling. It was my first chance to step out of stand-up and into acting on an international level. So that was very exciting in itself. You know what I mean?
Yes. And the reason why I asked that question and why he wrote it was because of the fact that I know what it was like. My first time on a true production was, I don't know if you've ever heard of the film. It's Lonely Hearts with John Travolta. It was filmed here in Jacksonville, Florida, 15 years ago. And I just remember coming on set like, oh man, this is the big time now. Like you got a job to do. Like you said, you were shaking and you cut your hand. Like I am so nervous, but like you say, once the camera comes on, I black out. I'm in the moment, and I can't tell you what the hell happened.
Right. That's like I remember doing a Pepsi commercial, and I was supposed to spray mustard on this woman, and I sprayed her really good, and apparently that was too much. And I'm thinking, well, you asked me to do it. Why is it too much? I mean, shouldn't I just be allowed to go?
Show me the professional mustard sprayer. Come on, show me how you want it done. Like,
right.
Should have been happy
the mustard wrangler.
At least it wasn't Grey Poupon.
Goodness grief.
What was it like working with? So I mean, you have of course the human co-star that you're making out with, but then, when you are like all that you guys do is you're making out. That's like the beginning and end of your interaction.
Oh, and I slipped it in the tongue. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Oh, she got a
little side note there.
Yes, I like it.
Is Me Tooing before Me Too.
No, just him. It's called hashtag just him.
Yeah,
it was basically a reaction, to Howard the Duck breaking through. I mean, mine was just it was a natural reaction to it, where I just say, "What the fuck?" I believe I just say, "What the?"
Yeah,
and they leave out "fuck."
What is the like? Did you guys did you guys like meet prior or anything, or is it just like, all right, come on set, action, and you're making out, or what?
Right.
Like, is that awkward, or do you guys have like a friendly back and forth beforehand?
Well, at that point, I had no experience, so I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? I was just told what they wanted from me, and I gave it to them. Now
the film Howard the Duck got mixed reviews. Some loathed it, and actually some loved it. When you saw it for the first time, what was your reaction?
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
I didn't care. I didn't hate it. I just didn't care for it. I thought they didn't portray Howard the Duck in the light that I'd known him from the comic. I'm a big comic book fan. Yes. I collected comic books for years. My first ex-wife had me get rid of my first collection, and my second ex-wife had me get rid of my second collection.
How's the third collection going?
I just started it again. I just started going back to the comic book store.
How much would those things be worth, man, nowadays? The ones you got rid of?
Don't
Man?
make
I'm
me think of
asking
that.
because I mean, shit. That's no, man. That's tough, man.
Yeah, they would have been worth a lot of money now because they were all in pristine condition. You know, I had them in plastic with a cardboard, and I had them in boxes. I had them in alphabetical order. I had them by genre. You know, you name it. I had it all categorized, and I had to just sell it.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's life. You know, what can you do? Sometimes you gotta grow up.
Yeah. Not according to Toys R Us.
Not according to. Yeah. That man. Yeah. See, our first interaction with Howard the Duck, it came out when we were 3 years old. I think I saw it when I was like 6 or 7. My introduction to Howard the Duck was the film, not the comic. So it holds a special place in our hearts as far as like we look back at it fondly. But I have to say, when we recently went back and rewatched it as adults in preparation for these interviews, it's rough around the edges.
It leaves a little bit black.
It didn't hold up, huh? It didn't hold up with time.
I mean, it's become a cult classic, and for good reason, because it does manage to transcend like terrible all the way around to being almost great again. It's like one of those things where you can, like, some movies are like they hurt to watch because they're just bad and not entertaining. Howard the Duck is at least extremely entertaining, and you could tell they shot for the fences on it.
It had like a Toxic Avenger feel to it for me when I went back to watch it.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because you said you were into comic books, so I'm just assuming here that you were into the Marvel films. How did it feel to see Howard the Screen get his respect paid in Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, how about that, huh? He had a little cameo there.
Just a little cameo. I was like, I rewatched that scene 30 times. Like, look at little Howard. After all these years, he finally made it.
That was a great cameo for him. That was
great cameo.
That set up the stage for them to do a reboot of Howard the Duck.
Yes,
and and that's a perfect segue into the next question. And oh man, I didn't even think about this when I wrote the questions, but so if I'll get into my second part of this question that just came into my head, but being a comic book fan, if they were to remake Howard the Duck today, what should be done differently? What do you think should stay the same? And the part that just came to me was that, God, if Robin Williams was alive, because he was tapped. He actually tried to do the original voiceover for her.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but they already had the animatronic shot for Howard, and it was very robotic, his talking, and it wasn't like the genie where he could just go in a booth and do what Robin does and just go free flow. It was very limited to the script, and he was like, I can't riff. I'm not doing this. So they had to bring the other guy in to do it. But man, if they were to remake Howard the Duck, and that's it's those times like that where you really feel the sting of somebody not being here, where they, like where we were talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman, like when roles come up and you're just like, they would have absolutely made this movie so much better.
Right.
So I mean, I guess
if I was to remake Howard the Duck, I would make it grittier. I would make it darker.
I think I think that's the big dilemma with the original, is that there was like a push and pull between the creatives and the suits, where some people wanted to go dark with it and pay honor to the comics, while the suits wanted to make sure they were able to sell toys. And then so we got this weird hybrid of sex jokes.
He smoked cigarettes. You can't fucking sell toys of a duck that smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think if they just Deadpooled it and leaned into a hard R,
right.
On fire today.
I'd be excited.
You're on fire.
Yeah, make it a little darker. Make it a little grittier.
Yeah. Two teaming up. All right, let me ask you this now. Okay, so you already told us your memories from production, but let me ask this.